that your economic plan would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade.
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes.
And again, her economy plans makes no freaking sense. You're just gonna put us more into debt. First of all, I just want to tell you that this interview was heavily edited. You can tell that they edited a lot. They took a lot of content, and I'm pretty sure they took out her word salad in some of the answers. So I'm just going to address some of the key points that I find relevant and that I identify with, and that I think most Americans are in agreement with me. Like, they spoke about a lot of crap. They spoke about Israel, they spoke about Ukraine, the economy, Trump, guns, immigration, everything. So I'm just gonna dive into it and talk about the few key points that I wanted to hear her speak, to see if it was going to be a different answer, to see if it was going to be something else that is not the same BS that we listen to her on her rallies or when she speaks to the friendly media, or the same answer that she gave during the debate. And believe it or not, if you want to just leave this video, you can leave because nothing changed. But don't leave, stay here because we're going to dive right into it. Let's go. Okay, first of all, like I said, they spoke about a lot of things, so I'm not gonna dive into the Israel or Ukraine conflict because at this point, to be quite honest, I don't give a crap about Israel and the Ukraine conflict. Yes, Israel, defend yourself. Defend yourself the way you have to. Like, I'm tired of all these politically correct things. No, you attack me, I'm gonna attack you even harder. So Israel, do what you gotta do. Ukraine, you keep on milking the USA with this administration. So no sympathy. I got no sympathy for nobody right now. My only sympathy and my only focus is on America and how we are getting destroyed internally, how our people are suffering, and this administration continue focusing on overseas stuff, on foreign wars that have nothing to do with us. Saying, I just hope my daughter doesn't get deployed to any of these places under this current administration, because that will be hard. But I am not going to dive into this because, like I said, I really don't care anymore about Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, Iran. All I care about is America. How are we gonna make America great again? How are we going to take care of our own? How are we going to improve our way of life? That is my main concern. Those are the countries that are fighting their war. In the Dominican Republic, the national anthem says, "Ningún pueblo se libre merece si en su pecho la llama no crece." Basically, you don't deserve to be free if that fire doesn't grow within you. If it's not within you, I'm not gonna go there and set you free. You gotta set yourself free. So, firm believer of that. I'm done. We should not be sending more money to this foreign nation to fight the wars when Americans are struggling. But let's not continue on that. So let's jump right away to the economy. We all have been hearing Kamala Harris speak about the economy, how her economic plan, how she plans to give money, $25,000 to first-time home buyers, a child tax credit, about Medicaid, and all of this. So during this 60-minute interview, she was pressed, I won't say a lot, a little, by the interviewer, Bill Whitaker. And I remember back when way back when, 60 Minutes used to be the effing ish. Like every political person that would go to 60 Minutes, there was no sugarcoating nothing. Whether you were Democrat, whether you were Republican, like they were going at you. They were more focused on maintaining their reputation and giving the people the truth than following an agenda. But that's not the case anymore. Even though Bill Whitaker pressed a little bit, you could see that this interview was heavily edited and it could be pressed on a lot harder. But anyways, right away, let's jump on the economy. I'm gonna let you see what Kamala had to say, and then we're gonna break it down.
You want to expand the child tax credit.
Yes, I do.
You want to give tax breaks to first-time home buyers.
Yes.
And people starting small businesses.
Correct.
But it is estimated by the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Federal Budget that your economic plan would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay, so the other economists that have reviewed my plan versus my opponent and determined that my economic plan would strengthen America's economy, his would weaken it.
But
My plan, Bill, if you don't mind, my plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations.
But-
I plan on making that fair.
But we're dealing with the real world here.
But the real world includes...
How are you going to get this through Congress?
You know, when you talk quietly with a lot of folks in Congress, they know exactly what I'm talking about because their constituents know exactly what I'm talking about. Their constituents are those firefighters and teachers and nurses. Their constituents are middle-class, hardworking folk.
And Congress has shown no inclination to move in your direction.
I disagree with you. There are plenty of leaders in Congress who understand and know that the Trump tax cuts blew up our federal deficit. None of us, and certainly I cannot afford to be myopic in terms of how I think about strengthening America's economy. Let me tell you something. I am a devout public servant, you know that. I am also a capitalist.
I said this before in previous videos that her economic plans makes no sense. As you can see, the bill press a little bit on her, and she kind of give you a actual information, actual facts of how her economic plan is gonna save American money, how it's gonna help the middle class, how it's gonna help the poor class. She just keep talking, we're gonna tax the rich, we're gonna tax the rich. So if we're gonna, every time they say we're gonna tax the rich, you might as well say we're gonna tax myself, because you husband and you guys own an $8 million home. So that's part of the rich. The Obama, the Pelosi, Vanguard, BlackRock, the people that own you. So you're gonna tax them? No, you guys just keep talking, and people that don't dive and analyze things and seek real information believe this thing that you're just gonna tax the big corporation and they gonna give you all this money, and you're gonna give first-time home buyer $25,000. But then if I'm a real estate person and I sell homes, I know you're getting $25,000 because you're a first-time buyer. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna increase the price of my house, because that's $25,000 that I'm gonna get free. And at the end, you're still not gonna be able to afford the house, even though you're getting the $25,000, because the house is so much more expensive now, and you cannot come up with a down payment. So it's like she lives in La La Land, and the big corporation, I said this again before, they are international corporations. The more you tax them, they could just pack up and leave. Because right now, what's holding them here? This current administration is not putting big tariff on the import. And as you know, with the port strike, what's going on in America, it's like we are not self-sufficient. We depend so much in foreign imports that when these people did a strike at the port, everything shut down. So that's why I love that Trump wants to go back and continue investing in America. Drill, baby, drill, baby, drill. Because the less we depend on foreign nations for our products, the more efficient we are, the more self-sustained we are. We should not be importing, we should be exporting a lot of our products to other nations. And again, her economy plans makes no freaking sense. It's just gonna put us more into debt. It's like the student loan forgiveness. Like, who paid for that? Oh, you forgiven? Who paid for that? I know people that they definitely deserve to be forgiven for all the money that they had spent in their school, and they continue paying. They paying left and right, continue paying, and instead of their bill decreasing, it just goes higher because we know student loans is a big corporation, it's a big corrupt corporation. But anyways, back to the main topic. Her economy plan makes no sense. Her economy plan is not gonna help anybody. She's gonna tax the big corporation, then the big corporation is gonna be like, okay, if they decide to stay here, I'm gonna increase the price of my products. And then the middle class, average American citizen that needs some of this product as daily products, you think they're gonna boycott those products? They still need those products to survive or to maintain the lifestyle, so they're gonna pay the higher price. So every time these Democrats talk about taxing the bigger corporation, the big corporation, in reality, they're talking about taxing you, the middle class citizen, which there is no middle class right now. You either poor or you got money. Because if you're middle class, you're the poor, because you don't qualify for nothing and you don't make enough to get nothing. So middle class, there's no such thing in America right now as a middle class. Middle class, making 100,000, 150,000 and struggling, you are poor. With this economy, 150,000 gets you nothing. So think about it and remember, I'm gonna say this throughout the video. If you haven't registered, please register because a lot of states already closed the registration, and November 5th, you gotta go and vote. Do not sleep on this, go and vote. Let's overwhelm the votes for the Republican Party so much that the Democrat cannot rig the election again. It's gonna be so many of us voting that no matter what they try, they won't be able to rig it. So please, tell your friend, tell your family, anybody, get up and go and vote. November 5th. That's it for the economic. Go and vote November 5th. So let's continue. Let's watch the next part of the interview that caught my attention. Is about it's the election year, and Kamala Harris speak about a little bit about how she wants to win the votes. That's her goal. But let's see what she said. And I don't know if they edit the video so much that I cannot find it, but I haven't been able to find the other parts of this video. No matter how hard I look, it's like they edited and took it down, and I don't want to get it from another broadcaster, from another content creator. But anyways, I will dive into it, but let's see what she had to say about white people don't know who she really is.
A quarter of registered voters still say they don't know you. They don't know what makes you tick. And why do you think that is? What's the disconnect?
It's an election, Bill. And I take it seriously that I have to earn everyone's vote. This is an election for President of the United States. No one should be able to take for granted that they can just declare themselves a candidate and automatically receive support. You have to earn it. And that's what I intend to do.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus. We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our backgrounds. And what the American people do want is that we have leaders who can build consensus, where we can figure out compromise and understand it's not a bad thing, as long as you don't compromise your values, to find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach.
Okay, forget I'm a conservative. Forget I'm voting Republican. Forget you are voting Democrat. Let's just focus on the facts. You are a regular person. You are neither independent, neither Republican, neither Democrat. How did Kamala Harris earn your vote? Did you vote for her? How is Donald Trump a threat to democracy when the Democratic Party basically, like I said before, boom, 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 slap Joe Biden, kick them off, and then appointed Kamala Harris to run for the 2024 presidential election? At what point did you vote or nominated Kamala Harris? It is just common sense. I'm asking for common sense. Forget about our beliefs on the party that we are representing. Just talking to you as a regular person and asking for you to use your common sense. How is it that, first of all, Joe Biden did not run primaries? They didn't do that. And that's part of why RFK Jr. left the Democratic plantation. Secondly, when Joe Biden said that he was going to continue and running after that disastrous, that embarrassing debate that he had against Donald Trump, he kept saying, I am going to run. And he kept on pushing on it. Out of nowhere, there is a message online, not even under the White House header. It's just like something on this. I decided not to run. I'm appointing Kamala Harris to continue. So he passed on the throne to Kamala Harris, who nobody voted for, who during the 2020 election was the first person to drop out. She didn't even make it to Iowa, to the Iowa primary. So how has Kamala Harris earned your vote? And a bunch of you people that are talking, Kamala this, Kamala that, you were the same people that were saying, why would Joe Biden pick Kamala Harris as a vice president? She has no credibility, she has no intellect, she is in la la land. But now you are the same people that are saying that Kamala Harris is the savior of America. When you cannot see past your own blindness that this administration is destroying America. So again, how did Kamala Harris earn your vote? How is Donald Trump a threat to democracy when he has been impeached twice? He has been prosecuted. His finances has been taken. Like he has been attempted to get assassinated twice. They have tried to assassinate him twice. All the news 90% of the news when they speak about Trump is negative. Nothing positive to say about Trump. They keep talking about all this hateful speech. So again, how is Donald Trump the one that is the threat to democracy? You see, and that's the only thing I ask of you guys, to think for yourself and stop believing this mainstream media. Kamala Harris was the first to drop out in the 2020 election. She got picked by Joe Biden because Joe Biden wanted to shove it up Pelosi's butt. He knew Kamala Harris had no credential, but he like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this lady because they don't like her. Then 2024 election, she gets appointed. I don't know where nobody voted for her. So again, how did she earn your vote? And that's what you gotta think about before you go and vote. Think about that. Think what that means to your kids. Think what that means to your future. Because if you think we are effed up right now, if this person gets in office and we get 4 more years of this person, we're not gonna be effed up. There's not gonna be an America. Simple as that. Next topic. I know I get a little overwhelmed. Like, I just can't stand talking about Kamala Harris. But mostly I can't stand the people that are blindly voting Democrats, the people that choose to continue supporting a party that wants to criticize everything about America and have money and funding for all these other nations, but got nothing for America. Remember the $750 for the people that got affected by Helene and they can apply online when they lost everything, when there's no communication, when Elon Musk had to say in Starlink for them to communicate, be able to get any signal? How in the heck they gonna apply? Well, anyways, let's go to the next topic, immigration.
Came up with a border security bill. Well, guess what happened? Donald Trump got word that this bill was afoot and could be passed, and he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. So he told his buddies in Congress, kill the bill, don't let it move forward.
But I've been covering the border for years. And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem. And solutions are at hand. And from day one, literally, we have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay?
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the
under
numbers
your
today,
watch.
because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
But should you
We
have
have
done
cut
that?
the
Should you
flow
have
of
done that?
fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem.
You all know where I stand on immigration. I believe that legal immigration is good for a country, but even legal immigration has to be limited to a certain amount because you don't want to bring so many different immigrants that you lose your own culture, that you lose your way of life, that you lose who you are, what your country stands for. And except for America, in a lot of countries, when immigrants migrate to those countries legally, they adapt to the way of life of those countries. But here in America, those immigrants wants to come and bring the crap that they escaping from into America. So why live where you came from if you're bringing all that into America, if you are not adapting to the American way of life, to what Americans stand for? So, as an immigrant myself, legal immigrant, my parents legal immigrants, and we all are U.S. citizens now. We all became naturalized. As you know, I served in the military for 15 plus, 17 plus years. My daughter is now serving in the military as well. She's been in for 4 years already. So this nation has done so much for us, saying, aside from paying taxes, oh, I wish I didn't have to pay taxes. I might have to talk to Trump to see what's the secret. But aside from paying taxes, serving in the military is my other way as a legal immigrant that came to the United States to pay my dues for everything this country done for me. Now, illegal immigrant, illegal immigration, do I support that? Hell to the effing no. I am all against illegal immigration because I know how hard it was for us to come here legally. Everything that we have to go through. Me as a child, my parents left when I was 3 years old. I didn't see them again until I was 12 because they wanted to make sure they had everything for me to come here legally like they did, and the support that I needed to not depend on the government. So I spent all those years without seeing my parents. And I know many people who do the same. And I got some close friends who came here. Their parents were here legally, but they came here illegally as kids, 7 years old and younger. They went to school here. They became of age. They started working. Some of them have been paying taxes and paying for working paper and permit every year for the past 20 years. One of them actually just got his green card after, I would say about, let's see, 1994 to 2018. Do the math. That's how long it took him to get his paper. But he came here because his parents brought him, and he was a minor. But then the minute he became of age, which he didn't even know that he was here illegally, he only found out when he tried to apply for college and he didn't get accepted because of his status. And then he started working, paying what he had to do and everything, and he has not stopped working and paying taxes and paying for his working paper ever since. And then in 2018, he finally got his paper. And even before he got his paper, he like, I am not from my country. I am from here, from America. I might not be an American citizen yet, but I have lived most of my life in America, and America has given me everything I have, everything I own, and have made me the person who I am. You see, that's someone who deserves to be here. But all these unvetted model efforts that are just walking through the border and this lady talking about they try to pass the toughest immigration crap, and Donald Trump talk to his body so they will not sign or approve or whatever. Like Bill Whitaker said, why did not do it when you guys got in office? Why wait till now, few months before election? What happened during those 3.5 years? No answers, no answer. And what I hate is that they don't go into details. How about you start breaking down the bill? How about you start breaking down everything that was below the bill? Everything that is underneath we try to pass the most secure bill, and the Republicans didn't approve. The Republicans avoided. The Republicans were against it. Because of the Republicans, we couldn't pass the best immigration bill ever. No, how about you start talking about everything that's included within the bill? But no, you guys don't do that. And that's part of why I'm saying this freaking interview was another freaking softy ass crap. Even though he pushed a little bit, it was another softy thing. And I'm not gonna continue talking about illegal immigration because I'm not for illegal immigration. As a legal immigrant, I'm not for illegal immigration. Like, there are people who came here legally, like I said before, way back. They struggled to get here and they started working. They didn't get any benefits. They didn't get nothing. They had to go from house to house, hiding with family members until they got their paper. But these mother effers, they come in now. Oh, here's housing for you. Oh, here's a cell phone for you. Here's money for you to buy supplies. You know what? Here's a little checking application. You are here legally for like 8 years and then we catch up with you. We don't care what you've done in your country. We don't care who you are. We don't need to know. You're good to go. Just checking on this stuff up and you are good. It's pathetic. And like I said, you guys want to vote for this administration? Oh Lord. Don't forget, November 5th, go and vote Republican. Vote for Donald Trump. Let's make America great again. Let's not continue destroying America with these people. Okay, to finish this, she was asked about she owns a gun. And I don't know if it's me, but when someone is lying, tell me this is not how they look. Watch this.
A hard left turn here, but you recently surprised people when you said that you are a gun owner. And then if someone came into your
That
house,
was not the first time I've
they would get
talked
shot.
about it. That's not the first time I've talked about it.
So what kind of gun do you own and when and why did you get it?
I have a Glock, and I've had it for quite some time. And I mean, look, Bill, my background is in law enforcement. And so there you go.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. Of course I have. At a shooting range. Yes, of course I have.
Yo, you see, like, I don't know if it, like I said, I don't know if it's just me, but to me, she's plain and simple lying. Like, you're not acting like someone that owns a gun. And you're like, I own a Glock. What you own? Glock 19, Glock 17? What kind of gun you own? Oh, you have shot the gun plenty of time at the range. I come from a law enforcement background, so that's that. You own a gun and you have shot your gun. There is more that you can say about owning that gun and shooting that gun, and you won't say I own a Glock. You will get into detail what kind of gun you own. So this lady is plain and simple, like, yeah, I own a gun, I'm a hunter. Get the F out of here. Like, dude, I could see you lying through your teeth. It's obvious, like your eyes got wider, you smile when you're lying and like, ooh. Get out of here, man. Like, all my gun enthusiastic and everybody that supports the 2A is laughing right now when they saw this, because we all know you're lying. You don't own no gun. You might have guns within the Secret Service, but talking about you own a gun, you don't even, like, you know, I'm not getting into detail, but listen, people, don't forget the important part about this is that she's talking about putting more implementation on the Second Amendment. She's talking about putting a ban on AR-15s style rifles. They are not assault rifles. They are armored rifles, armor-light rifle, AR-15 style rifle. They want to put a ban on those, a national ban, when you know most of the violence is committed using 9mm, using low caliber weapons, not the ARs that they want to ban, but those low caliber weapons. And what are the states that have the most violence? Red flag states. So remember, the more regulation they try to implement on the Second Amendment, it's not affecting the criminal because they're already getting the guns that they are not allowed to get. They're already getting it illegally. They don't care, no matter what regulations they put, it's not gonna affect them because they, at the moment, are unable to get gun legally, so they know what to do to get it legally. So it don't matter what regulations they put, they still gonna continue getting illegally. The only people that putting more regulations gonna affect is every law-abiding citizens. every law-abiding citizen that wants to wanna go and defend themselves and protect their family and their property. And aside from banning guns, remember, this is the same party that wants to defund the police. So, riddle me this, defund the police. So, less police enforcement. Let's put regulation on guns so you cannot own a gun. Somebody breaks into your house, you're gonna call the police. The police gonna be like, it's gonna be like 30 minutes because we don't have enough personnel because we got defunded. By the time the police gets home, you and your entire family is dead. So, I know it sounds drastic, but that's reality. That is the reality. And when they say, oh, no law-abiding citizen should shoot a criminal, we're giving criminals more value than the law-abiding citizen. Oh, your property is not worth the life of somebody. It's not the property. You break into my house, I'm not worried about any of the material crap in my house. I'm worried about my daughters, my son, my family. I'm worried about everyone that's in my house. And their life is definitely way more important than the life of any criminal that break into my house. So remember, if you support the 2A, if you support freedom of speech, if you support freedom of press, if you know that the truth is not misinformation, it's not lies, remember, November 5th, get up and go vote. Both. If you haven't registered, go and register and go and vote on November 5th. Do not sleep on this. And do not register Republican if you are truly a Democrat and you just want to get, oh, I'm registered Republican, but I'm voting Democrat. Like the ladies in the views, they are registered Republican. These ladies are more Democratic than the freaking Kamala. Anyways, go and vote on November 5th. And remember, it's Kamala, he's just lying to you. You saw my previous video, how DeSantis gave a reality check. If you haven't done it, go check it. It's in the description below. I'll see you in the next one.